So welcome today, and I'm very excited to share this topic with you today. The topic for today is I am the ultimate guru, finding guidance within. And if you did see any posts as we were advertising the coming of the show, I did capitalize the I am, and some of you may have recognized that. When I was opening to the divinity that I experience now, part of my journey was through the metaphysical Christian church. And in that space, there is the speaking of the I am presence, the I am that I am, I believe is the original quote from the Bible. I am that I am. And the I am, in this sense, is a higher vibration than our physical essence. So it is us, it's each of us as individuals in our expanded self, that vibration that connects our individual identity to the expansiveness of all that is, whatever name we use: God, creator, oneness, universe, source, higher power, whatever words we use. There is a vibration that connects our individual consciousness to this expansive consciousness as we remember our way back to that space. And then for those who have remembered, this same vibration acts as that glue or that bridge to allow us to live in the physical world, in the physical reality, consciously connected to source energy. So when I speak today of I am the ultimate guru, of course I mean each one of you, each one of us. We are the ultimate guru for ourselves. And it is going within and expanding our energy, allowing ourselves to find a technique that works for us. For me, that technique was guided meditation. It allowed me to expand my attention from the limitedness of my physical consciousness, the limitedness of basing all my knowledge on the five senses: my physical vision, my physical ears, my physical touch, my physical smell, my physical taste. So that's a limited understanding of the expansiveness of what we are. But when we expand our awareness and we allow ourselves to use that expansive energy, which is often called imagination, and I did say that, imagination is the key. And its root word actually means that it's this in-between energy that allows us to expand our vibration, our attention from this moment to a more expansive consciousness. So often we may label this bridge as imagination. And so I think this is why so many people want to look outside of themselves and find a teacher, find a savior, find a guru, find somebody outside of themselves to follow. I was actually, I don't know if you caught yesterday, there was a special edition of Enchanted One in which I was on air with Randy Davila, who is the CEO of Hampton Road Publishing, who is a publishing company that's promoted many metaphysical books. But he's also the author of Gnostic Mystery. So we had this incredible conversation yesterday that just tapped the surface of the conversation about the Essenes and the Gnostic understanding of Jesus and his life. So I would definitely recommend that book, and also go into the archives and listen to that show yesterday. Why I'm bringing that up is because as we were discussing it yesterday, we were discussing that the Bible, or Christianity as many people understand it now, is just getting you to the doorway. It only gets you to the doorway of what is really there. There is so much depth and so much understanding when we move beyond the limited understanding or interpretation of these storylines. And one of the things that I have experienced or questioned throughout my journey as a teacher of oneness is, why have, with the incredibly beautiful prophets that have gone before us, such as Jesus, the peacemaker, Buddha, and there are so many more, which is part of what we talked about yesterday. But as we look at the incredible prophets who have come before us and who embodied this understanding of union and embodied the love, embodied the ability to create miracles, as we would call them, which are really just instant manifestating, which is the natural state of one in the remembrance of oneness. So with all of these prophets and teachers that have gone before us, why are we not, as a collective world, embodying that now? Why did the peacemaker come and the land was in peace? The people were in peace for generations, but now they are not. And we can say, oh, that's when the Europeans came over. The peacemaker is Iroquois, a Native American prophet, and the land that I live on lived in peace. But we could say, oh, the outsiders came in and they disrupted the peace, but that is not true. Because if people were really embodying what the peacemaker taught, if people were really embodying what the one that we know as Jesus taught, then there is nothing, there is no event in this world that could turn that peace over. And this is why it is essential that no matter who we look to, whether we look at the ancient scriptures from any tradition and seek the teachers of the past, or we look to the teachers of the present, if we embrace them and their teachings and we learn from them, that's beautiful. But all the teachers of the world can only bring someone to the doorway, can only bring you to the doorway, perhaps even across that threshold, to allow you to experience the vibration of what it is like to be in that space. Somebody said to me this morning that when he gets in my presence, I am like a conduit to him, because I'm embodying that energy. So as soon as he gets into my presence, I don't even have to do anything except stand there, and he suddenly is able to tap in to his connectedness, his understanding, his insight, his awakening. And he suddenly has knowledge that he couldn't access before. That is because I am embodying that. I'm living in that. And so are many, many other people in this world. And we can allow that space for each other. But it's not me that then does it. In that space, this person took it upon himself. And then he takes it upon himself to leave my space, to leave the space of a church, to leave the space of somebody who is holding that vibration, and to find that within himself and know that his connectedness is complete on its own. Because there is never on its own. When we access this, it is everywhere. So as we look to the people around us, and we get these incredibly beautiful insights that help to guide us along the way, what I am asking you to do today is to remember that your task, that nobody, I don't care if he was the Savior from the past or the second coming, I don't care what this person embodies, nobody but you can step into that embodiment. And it is your job. It is your job not to learn, not to pretend, not to be similar to. I always say, Jesus didn't say, try to be a little bit like me. He said, these things and more you too shall do. It's time for the more. And whatever path you're taking, whoever you are looking towards for new insights, that is beautiful. Look around, because we're all one. And anyone that you turn to as a teacher is reflecting what you already know within you, because you would not be turning to them unless it was a mirror for you of what was within you. So use these people as a mirror, use the books, use the recordings, use the shows, use whatever it is. And yes, shows, novels, movies. There's so many ways for us to tap into this vibration. And yet, ultimately, we are responsible for ourselves. And if we are truly going to change this world, it is going to be done by each individual embodying this vibration. It is not about a leader stepping forward and people following. We have seen repeatedly that any effect that that has is temporary. Temporary. But as each person embodies this truth, and it will happen, it will happen. Whether it's 1 lifetime or 1,000 lifetimes, this is never ending. This entire world, every being on this world, will embody this truth, this remembrance in its fullness. It's a given. So now our job is to look within, to find that space within us. How we do that varies with each one of us. The fact that we do it is what is important. There's some practical things that occur when we're taking this step. 1, we have to be willing to think for ourselves. We have to have within us the conviction, okay? And I'm choosing the word conviction on purpose. It's not a gift. It's a choice. We have to have within us the conviction to pass all information through our own heart and to accept that which resonates and to set aside that which does not resonate at this time. And I say that it is with conviction because sometimes it feels easier to just accept what someone says outside of ourselves because someone somewhere has given them authority, and so therefore we do. To assume that somebody outside of ourselves is more knowledgeable or more tapped into spirit, and to accept whatever is said. Why is that so enticing? Why do we choose that so often? Honestly, it's the lazy man out, or the lazy woman out, because we don't then have to take responsibility. Because if we just accept what is put on to us and don't take the time to use discernment with conviction, and I use that word again, conviction, passion, be passionate about making these choices, about seeing our truth. We can't choose what is true for someone else, but we can learn to filter through what is true for us and to accept that and take responsibility for everything that we accept and make it our own. Because it's that piece of responsibility. Sometimes it's very tempting to place our power in someone else. Because then if something isn't going the way we think we would like it to go, we now have someone to blame. I remember once, this is a long time ago, it's funny that this is coming up to me now. I had a friend and she had just separated from her husband of many, many years. And she wrote to me or called me up and she says, I'm mad that I don't have anyone to blame because my house is a mess or something, something to that effect. She was dealing with the life chores that when she had a partner, she could project that, my house isn't clean because he isn't doing his share or whatever. And she was completely aware of what she was doing. But that realization of, wow, whatever's in this house now is my responsibility. If I didn't pick up the dirty laundry and put it in the hamper, I can't blame somebody else. I have to take full responsibility. I can't just look at his stuff and not my own. I have to see that everything here I created. And that's a very small, obviously, prototype of what I'm talking about. But that is the truth. When we truly accept ourselves and our connection to spirit, still joining with each other as reflective mirrors, but realizing that no matter what anyone reflects upon us is our own responsibility, is our own choice, is our own reflection. Once we reach that point of responsibility, the gates have opened and we will embody this. I'm telling you, that is the key that unlocks that gate. That is the key that unlocks the gate and allows you to embody the vibration that you are seeing in others, that you are touching for moments, you are wishing to be your way of being. So we first take responsibility. We take with conviction and awareness to make our own choices. And I'm not talking about our own choices in resistance to God or oneness. This is in conjunction with a practice that we choose, but however we choose it, whether it's through music or art or meditation or silence, but to be choosing to sit in a space beyond words, to sit in a space where the actual vibration touches us. This is why we are so drawn to the charisma of some of the leaders that we have seen or feel around us. Because if they truly are embodying this, then being in their space reminds us of what it feels like. And it penetrates into the cells of our body. And our cells begin to remember. So as you are moving forward with conviction, as your mind is now making choices based also on the vibration of your heart, what feels correct to you. Not what someone told you is correct, but what feels like truth to you. What makes your body resonate in the vibration of oneness. And then at the same time, drawing in a practice that allows yourself to clear the past and to feel that vibration within you more and more and more often, that centered space. As Abraham and Esther say, that vortex, sitting in the center of the vortex, remembering a way to move into that center and to allow that vibration to overtake us. When we combine these two, and through that practice, whether it is meditation or art or music, whatever it is that steps us out of our limited mind, of the human mind, into the I am presence. I am presence, our higher self. And we start to utilize that mind. We will know. We will not know with judgment. It isn't about that person said something wrong or false. It's about, that doesn't resonate with me at this moment. This resonates with me at this moment. And we begin to embody that, and we begin to know. And when we reach that state, then everyone is our teacher. We can learn equally from the man in the grocery store as we can from the world-renowned speaker talking or meditating or reciting from a book. We can learn equally from the direct presence of a being such as Jesus, Magdalene, Peacemaker, Buddha, as we can from the written work that was left behind. Because when we tap into this space, which each one of us do in a natural state, in this vibration, we are all-knowing. We have that ability, and there is no greater guru than ourselves. I'm just going to take the last couple minutes of today's show to guide you into that vibration so that you leave feeling that vibration and that you can move in that space throughout your day as you choose, looking at the information, the thought patterns that you perhaps have taken from your childhood or that your teachers are speaking in front of you now, and letting that move through this vibration of knowing that you are. So I ask that you take a deep breath in And then release. Breathe in love and release joy. Breathe in hope and release passion. Now I ask that you just simply allow yourself to rest into the vibration. See a beautiful blue sky, puffy white clouds. Imagine yourself like you were as a child, simply laying on the grass. Feel the soft grass beneath you as you look up into the clouds. You feel the vibration of heaven and earth moving through you. You feel your cells moving into harmony with this. And perhaps in the clouds you begin to see shapes. Simply allow those clouds to move in shape and form until a form comes that resonates very, very deeply with you. It may just be a shape. It may take on color. Perhaps it is the form of a person or an animal or a tree. Whatever the form that cloud takes, when you find the cloud that resonates the most deeply with you in this moment, allow yourself to expand into it. Still fully aware of that feeling of lying upon the grass. Your consciousness moves, though, into that cloud, into that vibration, until you are wrapped in its embrace. Feel soft and gentle, expansive and deep. And you feel it penetrate into every cell of your body. And as you rest in that vibration, you allow your thoughts to come through. You allow your higher self to speak to you in this moment. You allow yourself to receive from this vibration a single message that will assist you in the rest of your day. And as you receive that message, whatever form that it comes, a thought, a word, a picture, a feeling, whatever it is, you allow it to move into every cell of your body. You allow yourself to feel your heart resonating with it, your mind to understand it. Knowing that this vibration of unity and oneness that you are feeling right now, this expansiveness and ability to hear from your higher self is your natural state. Knowing this, resting into it, you simply choose now to draw your attention back to that feeling of lying upon the grass and looking up at the cloud. You can see that cloud shape in front of you, and yet you still feel the comfort of it within you. You may allow those clouds to move once again, changing form, for perhaps there are messages in that form as well. And knowing that you can return to this state anytime you choose, you draw your attention back to this physical time and space, feeling the fullness in your body, rejuvenated and ready to continue your day with a new and profound insight that you acquired from resting into your higher self. And you give thanks. And I just ask that you take that with you today to remember those two key points. You are the ultimate guru. You have access to all knowing, and there is a course of action in order to find and to recall that access. And there have been those who have gone before you who did access a path, and they will guide you and support you, but only you can choose to embody it. And you make that choice in every moment as you choose to resonate, to discern, and to vibrate in this energy so that you can embody that for others. Have an amazing week.